Yo, what is up guys, my name is Vortex, you can call me Liam, I don't really mind. Welcome back to another Life Stories video. Today, I'm going to be talking about my prom after party. Oh boy, did I get absolutely smashed at this party. I got blitzed, I'm talking hammered. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone as drunk as I was that night. And, yeah, I'm going to put a little, just putting this out there, I didn't actually go to prom, either. I just went to this after party. I didn't even turn up at prom, and I rocked up at this after party. Was like, yo, let's get down, and so that happened. That was a little bit funny in my half, but also I do apologize for the gameplay. I'm not trying to make excuses, but if it's not that entertaining and if I start doing really bad like halfway through, it was because I made the poor decision of opening a packet of cookies while playing, trying to multitask and eat and play, and I couldn't pull it off, guys. I just couldn't pull it off, but this after party thing. Another funny thing that happened before this party, about 2 hours before, me and my buddy didn't know where the girl's house was. This girl was throwing like a party for everyone in our year. Everyone that was allowed to go. Everyone who was leaving. So like end of secondary school, end of high school, whatever you want to call it. Big blowout party. So everyone's going to this. I'm like, alright, let's rock up. Find out where this girl's address is. We spend like an hour trying to find the place. We finally do about 2 hours before the party. And then we sit at like a roundabout for about an hour and a half and play I Spy until we start seeing people like drive past, and we're like, alright, it's time. We rock up. We're like two of the first 15 people at this party. And it felt like something out of a movie, guys. And I'm gonna just like point out, this was my first ever like legitimate house party. This was my first ever time getting drunk. Like, I had drank before, but I had not been drunk. So I did not know about like controlling my alcohol consumption. And I walked in and this girl had spirits laid out all over the kitchen counter. She had ice buckets knee high filled with Budweisers. About 4 or 5 of those placed around. Beer pong set up in the garden. No vases lying around. Sofas and everything moved. Furniture out of the way. Ain't no one breaking nothing at this party tonight, guys. She was prepped. So I walked in, I was like, damn. Take a shot, go into the garden, grab a beer, crack it open. They say help yourself. I'm like, alright, you don't tell me that. Don't tell someone who has never drank or been to a house party before to help themselves to alcohol. I just, I don't blame them because I don't think they knew. But my buddy definitely knew, and he didn't really do anything to stop me. But I don't blame him. It's not his responsibility, really. It was kind of mine. But basically, we start socializing and stuff. 10, 20 minutes later, a load of people rock up. Everyone's pretty much here now. 30 to 40 people. Party's in like full swing. I'm like 4 beers in. I'm chugging these things like it's orange juice, dude. Because I didn't really think about like I just didn't think, basically. But at one point during the night, about an hour in, these people come up to me and my buddy and they're like, hey, let's go do shots inside. I'm like, alright. But my buddy's holding a fat Cuban cigar. Like, I'm talking those big ones, dude. Because someone brought it and gave it to him and he didn't want it anymore. He couldn't bring it inside. So he had to go off and like give it to somebody. And I just left him. I went inside and started doing these shots. I did about 4 or 5 shots with these people. They left. I'm in the kitchen on my own just chilling. My buddy walks in, walks right past me. Looks me dead in the eyes. Walks straight past me. Goes over to the counter on the other side of the kitchen and pours 6 shots of vodka. Does one and then walks out. And as he walks out, he kind of brushes past me and looks me dead in the eyes and keeps going. Now, I assume that he's drunk at this point, because the next day, he told me that he was going outside to look for me after he did that shot. But I was like, dude, you looked right at me. You walked past me. What was that about? And we just laughed at that. Like, I thought it was really funny. But this was where stupidness, like, got next level. I looked down at those 5 stray shots of vodka that he had left on the counter, and I thought, you know what? I could pull that off. So I, in rapid succession, down these 5 shots, and I'm like, yeah, I feel powerful. I feel like a horse. I could take on an army right now, guys. Yeah, no, I was wrong. I was like, so wrong. Next level of wrong. Because, apparently, I don't really remember much after that. I cracked open a few more beers, I remember that much. And, according to my buddy, this is where things got bad. I was talking to some dude. I was just sitting outside talking to some guy. And I just straight up threw up, straight projectile vomit. Crawled to the middle of the garden, just started puking buckets, dude. Puking, like, endlessly. Vomiting. And this is where things start to get gross, because there's a lot of puking happening. But everyone starts freaking out. Everyone's like, oh my god, Liam's puking everywhere. Someone sort him out. And they're all moaning at my buddy. They're all like, you brought him here, dude. He's your friend. Help him. And he's panicking because he's drunk. He doesn't know what to do. So he's running in the house, filling up like a plastic cup with water. And he's running back into the garden. But he's so drunk himself that by the time he gets to the garden, he's already spilt all of it, dude. So he goes in and out like 4 times until somebody else finally hands me a cup of water and forces me to drink it. I didn't really want to drink anything else at this point. I don't think I wanted to be conscious. I just wanted to puke and sleep. But one of my other buddies comes along. He's sober. He hasn't drank the whole night. He helps me up, and then this was one of the worst parts for me. I felt so bad after this the next day when I found out. I threw up all over his brand new, he got that day, 100-pound Nike trainers. Straight up vomited all over them. Rod, I'm so sorry, dude. If you ever watch this, I apologize, man. Really didn't mean to. But yeah, no, I felt super bad about that. Anyways, Rod goes inside to like find someone to help me. The buddy I turned up with, he takes me out the front of the house, and he pulled a little bit of a dick move, I think. Basically, he smelled weed. He smelled somebody like smoking weed, and he dropped me on the curb to go see who it was. And I just started throwing up all over the curb. Like, I was not stopping. I managed to hold it while I walked through the house. Well, was dragged through the house. But as soon as I got outside, boom, started throwing up again. Everyone was freaking out. Eventually, my buddy comes back, and so does Rod. And the girl who was throwing the party, her mum, came out and was like, I'm going to drive you home. I was like, alright. Well, I didn't really say alright. I just kind of mumbled and moaned. I don't think I was like coherent at all at that point. But they told her my address, and we drove home, and oh boy, I like flopped straight out of the car, started throwing up again. They knocked on my door. My dad was furious, dude. Some next level of angry. I swear to God, he was turning green. This dude, my dad was about to fucking Hulk out on everyone's ass, man. Like, my mum was freaking out. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. Like, my buddies didn't know what to do. The girl's mum, she drove straight off. She was gone. She didn't want to stick around for none of that business. My dad, like, had a huge, like, he was screaming at my friends. My buddies, like, 2 buddies, they left. He was like, get lost. They walked 2 hours back to this party, and they got there, and it was, like, shutting down. But, like, yeah, my parents, like, put me in the bathtub and everything. They, like, sort of force-fed me black coffee to try and make me puke. Oh, Jesus. They sort of force-fed me black coffee to make me puke so I could sober up, I think. But, like, I wasn't having it. I was fully clothed in the shower. They got me out, and they were like, Liam, take your clothes off. Here's a towel. Here's some clean clothes. We're going to bed. It's, like, 4 o'clock in the morning now. Party started at, like, 12. It's only been a few hours, guys. Parents go to bed. They trust me. I'm a little bit sober. I'm a little bit more sober now. I'm just feeling ill. They give me a bucket. They give me a towel. They give me some fresh clothes. They're like, get out of those. Go to sleep. I'm like, alright. Don't remember anything after that. I just remember waking up at about 8 o'clock the next day in the morning. And I didn't even put the clothes on. I took my clothes off, didn't put the new ones on. I woke up naked under a blanket on my living room floor. Thank God nobody was downstairs. I swear, dude. But I get dressed. I go to bed. And suffer the worst hangover I think anyone could have ever had the history of hangovers that morning. In fact, that entire day, I felt like utter crap. I kind of just didn't leave my house for the next week because I felt so bad, and people were sort of like talking about it on Facebook and things like that, and I was like, oh no, man, this is bad. I was horrible last night. I was like scared to bring it up, but now I look back on it and I just find it hilarious, dude. But yeah, I don't recommend ever getting that drunk. Like, you know, go out, have a good time, party and drink and stuff, but like, just don't. I just don't recommend ever even getting close to how bad I was. Because it's just not fun, guys. Like, the next day is the worst experience ever. Like, I think that's the worst I've ever felt in my life. It's worse than having, like, I don't know, being severely ill. Probably not. I don't know. But, like, it was terrible. But, thanks for watching. This was, you know, my after prom party, story. I've got plenty more live stories, on the go. If at any point you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If at any point you didn't, I don't know, give it a like. If you can click subscribe, that'll probably really help out the channel. It'll probably motivate me to start making more content, you know, make it more regular, because that's not something I'm very good at. I don't know, I struggle with motivation, but like when I see people really like the stuff I do, it kind of makes me want to do more. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.